The church stood in quiet reverence, a beacon of faith nestled amid the bustling town, its stone facade weathered yet dignified, telling tales of generations that had sought solace within its walls. As the sun began its descent, the warm light poured through the stained glass windows, casting vibrant hues of red, blue, and gold across the interior. Each pane depicted scenes of biblical significance, the figures frozen in time, yet alive with the spirit of the stories they told. The wooden pews, polished from years of worship, gleamed softly in the warm glow, inviting all who entered to take a seat and partake in the sacred gathering. At the front of the sanctuary, the pastor stood at the pulpit, a figure of calm authority in his flowing white robe. His presence commanded attention, and as he held the Bible close to his heart, the congregation settled into a hushed reverence. The air was thick with anticipation, an unspoken bond among the worshippers that transcended age and background. Children nestled against their parents, their small hands clasped in prayer. The elderly, with hands gnarled by time, sat with eyes closed, reflecting on the familiar words that had comforted them through the years. Young adults leaned forward, eager to absorb the wisdom being imparted, while the middle-aged exchanged knowing glances, united in their shared faith. The gentle sound of the organ filled the space, its notes weaving a tapestry of sound that enveloped the congregation. The music flowed like a river, soothing yet powerful, a reminder of the sacred moments that had unfolded within these walls. The organist, a devoted member of the church community, played with a passion that resonated deep within the hearts of those present. Each chord seemed to breathe life into the atmosphere, harmonizing with the flickering candles that lined the altar, their flames dancing in rhythm with the melody. As the pastor began his sermon, his voice resonated through the church, warm and inviting. He spoke of Jesus, the central figure of their faith, and the profound impact his life had on humanity. The pastor's words painted a vivid picture of Jesus' humble beginnings, his birth in a stable, surrounded by the soft sounds of livestock and the gentle glow of a star that shone brightly overhead. He described the joy of the shepherds as they received the angelic announcement, the wonder of the wise men who traveled from afar, each step guided by faith and hope. The congregation listened intently, some with eyes closed, lost in prayerful contemplation, while others nodded in agreement, their hearts echoing the pastor's sentiments. The warmth of the stained glass illuminated their faces, highlighting expressions of awe and reverence. The pastor continued, weaving a narrative that captured the essence of Jesus' life, the miracles that amazed, the teachings that challenged, and the love that transformed. He spoke of the moments when Jesus walked among the people, healing the sick, feeding the hungry, and offering solace to the brokenhearted. Each story was a thread in the rich tapestry of Jesus' ministry, illustrating his unwavering compassion and the radical love he extended to all. The pastor's voice rose and fell like the swell of the organ, drawing the congregation deeper into the narrative. He emphasized the importance of these acts, reminding everyone that they were not mere historical events, but lessons to be lived out in their own lives. As the sermon unfolded, the pastor transitioned to the darker chapters of Jesus' journey, the betrayal, the trials, and the crucifixion. The atmosphere shifted, the warmth of the stained glass now tinged with a solemnity that wrapped around the congregation like a heavy cloak. The pastor's voice softened, reflecting the weight of the sacrifice made on their behalf. He spoke of the anguish endured, the isolation felt, and the love that persisted even in the face of unimaginable suffering. Yet, amidst the sorrow, the pastor also illuminated the hope that blossomed from the darkness. He recounted the miraculous resurrection, the stone rolled away, and the empty tomb that signified victory over death. The joy that erupted among the disciples, the disbelief turned into faith, and the promise of eternal life. These were the threads that wove the final tapestry of Jesus' story. The pastor's voice rang with conviction as he reminded the congregation that this resurrection was not just an event in history, but a living reality that breathed hope into their lives. As he concluded his sermon, the pastor invited the congregation to reflect on their own journeys of faith, to consider how the life of Jesus could inspire their actions in the world. He encouraged them to embrace love, to extend grace, and to seek justice, echoing the teachings that had shaped their beliefs. The gentle sound of the organ swelled once more, filling the space with a sense of uplifting possibility, as if the very walls of the church were alive with the spirit of hope. The congregation remained still for a moment, absorbing the weight of the words spoken. The light from the stained glass seemed to grow brighter, illuminating not just the pews, but the hearts of those gathered. Eyes opened, smiles emerged, and a sense of unity filled the air. It was a moment of connection, a shared understanding of the journey they were all on, the struggles they faced, and the faith that bound them together. As the service drew to a close, the pastor extended his arms in blessing, inviting all to carry the light of Jesus into their lives. The congregation rose, a collective movement of faith, and the organ played a triumphant hymn that echoed through the church, lifting spirits and igniting hope. The warmth of the stained glass windows embraced them as they stepped out into the world, ready to live out the lessons learned in the solemn yet sacred space they had just occupied. In that moment, within the walls of the church, the life of Jesus was not just a story told, but a living testament to the power of faith, love, and resurrection, a narrative that would continue to inspire generations to come.